what's going on, everybody? I'm Mike, aka the Big Fat Pandaren Box on Area 52, and welcome to another World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth character review. So Saurfang's been one of the most talked about characters in Battle for Azeroth. He's actually one of the few Horde leaders to openly speak against War Chief Sylvanas Windrunner on all the shit she's been pulling, and I actually have loved his arc throughout the expansion, and I hope Blizzard does more with it towards the end. As of right now, Saurfang has been freed from Alliance captivity by Anduin Wrynn, and we're really unsure of his motives at the moment. Besides, he's out there looking for something, or working with someone, as a lot of players have theorized, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Saurfang's been through a lot throughout his run, and that would no doubtedly mess somebody up. He led the orcs against the massacre on Shattrath City when they were under the Blood Curse. Although free now, Saurfang and many other orcs constantly have to relive their past when they were enslaved under the Burning Legion. During the Wrath of the Lich King campaign in Borean Tundra, he tells Garrosh about the atrocities that the orcs commit, and that if Garrosh ever led the Horde down a dark path like that Saurfang would end him himself. During Wrath of the Lich King, Saurfang lost his son Drenosh and Icecrown, and I love how they actually acknowledge us during the Saurfang cutscene in Battle for Azeroth. It's a very powerful scene, and I remember I was actually watching this on my lunch break at work, and I was just, I was almost driven to tears by this cutscene, guys. It was so sad.
You have earned your warrior's death, my son. Yet once again, I am denied it.
How I really interpret Saurfang during the Battle of Undercity is he wants to die. He's seen a lifetime of war, and he wants to earn his warrior's death on the battlefield. But Zakan, I think he's what gives him hope. He sees that the Horde can reclaim their honor. And as Zakan says to Saurfang, live another day. It's worth living another day to rebuild the Horde and reclaim the lost honor.
Live another day.
One of my favorite scenes in this cutscene is when Zakan says to Saurfang that the Horde is all he has, that's his family, and one thing that I looked at it right here is, no matter what happens, we're all in it together. Sylvanas pulled us into this mess, but no matter what, the Horde will always be bound together in some way, shape, or form. When the Warbringer Sylvanas released, a lot of Horde players were like, what the hell just happened? Especially after everything we went through in Mists of Pandaria, it just seemed like a complete 180 on the current faction storyline. In Battle for Azeroth, he was one of the few leaders to step up and make sense. A huge missed opportunity in BFA was for the other leaders to question Sylvanas' honor and motives. Bane Bloodhoof is one of the few, and, well, he's Bane, but Saurfang? During the Battle of Undercity, Saurfang allows himself to get captured. He hates being a part of Sylvanas' Horde and wants to earn his warrior's death to not even be a part of it. This is due to the War of the Thorn. Saurfang feels partially responsible for the destruction of Teldrassil, although we all know it is our Great War Chief's fault. And from a player character's point of view, it was way too much for my character to be involved in that as well. I actually almost started playing Alliance after the War of the Thorns, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I didn't switch to Alliance because at the end of the Saurfang cutscene, I'm like, you know what? My heart is with the Horde. I can't switch to Alliance. Come on, I'm not a traitor. And what I mean by that, and this is something that I've felt throughout Battle for Azeroth, is we're trying to reclaim our honor that we lost due to Sylvanas during the War of the Thorns. That no matter what, unfortunately, we were all involved in that, and we're stuck being on her side throughout this. The Alliance wants us dead. And I love that line in the cutscene where Saurfang says, "They will come for us now, all of us, because it's true. They are gonna hunt down all of the Horde because the Alliance sees them as all responsible. And to be honest, guys, as somebody who's played Horde for years, the Alliance has been pretty terrifying in Battle for Azeroth, especially in the Battle of Dazar'alor and the Stormwind extraction. I felt pretty helpless against them. Saurfang is a veteran of the Horde, one with honor that even Varian Wrynn saw, and his son Anduin sees as well. Anduin is, like I said earlier, frees him from captivity so he can give my Pandaren warrior a badass cloak in the Swamp of Sorrows. But seriously, I love this scene. I see a lot of people say that he's working with the Alliance now, and I have to disagree with that. Saurfang is the heart of the Horde, much like Thrall and Vol'jin, and essentially he could be what mends our wounds with the Alliance from a story perspective. There's a popular fan theory and great YouTube video theorizing what Saurfang is seeking out. Thrall. And what better way to bring Thrall back into the Horde than have Saurfang do it? I think there could be some potential for a really interesting cutscene, and I hope Blizzard doesn't miss an opportunity like this, because that would be so badass from a story perspective. Any choice I have to side with Saurfang, by the way, guys, I just want to let you know I'm doing that in a heartbeat right now, but I digress. I think their conversation would obviously be about honor and what it really means to be Horde. I often wonder if this is going to lead to Thrall returning to the throne of Warchief, or perhaps another character in the Horde. Perhaps Thrall will suggest to Saurfang to seek out one of the leaders in the Horde that is honorable, one that would be willing to lead the Horde and not lead them down a dark path, and also suggest to him don't make Overlord Gayar a Warchief. No, I'm just kidding. I mentioned in my previous video that it would be pretty interesting if Princess Talanji became Warchief somehow. Although she's pretty new to the faction, I'd be really curious to see how Blizzard would pull something off like this. Honestly, guys, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of sick of playing musical Warchiefs, so I hope we do have one that's in place for a long time after Sylvanas Windrunner. And as for Saurfang, I don't think he would be fit for Warchief only because of his age. Although he's a very seasoned war veteran, and I think he'd be a great candidate for it, I just don't think he'd be up for the task at the moment. There's another popular fan theory on MMO Champion that I see tossed around once in a while, and that's that Tyrande is going to kill Saurfang because she holds him responsible for the War of the Thorns. I would be really disappointed with this theory, and that's only because I like Saurfang as a character, and I'd really hate to see Blizzard kill him off at this point. As of right now in the Horde, we don't have any really notable orc characters in the spotlight, and I think that's a damn shame because the orcs are such a badass race in World of Warcraft. We have Eitrigg, but he's always just kind of like a background character to me, even though he has a lot of deep storyline. He's always just kind of there. If Saurfang somehow convinces Thrall to come back into the Horde, I'd love to see him around even if it's in like a council-style leadership. Thrall's a character that's been missing for a while, and I think this is a good time to introduce him back into the storyline. So my last bit of thoughts on Saurfang in Battle for Azeroth is that he's been a really interesting part of the storyline, and I hope Blizzard continues to explore the Horde reclaiming their honor right now, and I think they're starting to now with the other leaders starting to rebel. Regardless of what happens to Varrock Saurfang's character in Battle for Azeroth, he will always remain one of my favorite characters in World of Warcraft, and a lot of his moments in the storyline have been very touching for me, and I really hope they continue to use his character in some way, shape, or form. He's a very tragic character, and I think we need more interesting characters like this around in World of Warcraft's storyline. I'm just gonna leave you guys with two of my favorite moments from High Overlord Saurfang in Mists of Pandaria and Wrath of the Lich King, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like our channel and you want to support it, I highly encourage you to like and subscribe, and there will be more World of Warcraft content on the way, and maybe some other obscure games that you may enjoy. See you guys next time, and thank you very much for watching.
Move out! Champions, watch your backs! The Scourge have been caught! Join me, Father. Join me, and we will crush this world in the name of the Scourge, for the glory of the Lich King. My boy died at the Wrathgate. I am here only to collect his body. Stubborn and old, what chance do you have? I am stronger and more powerful than you ever were. We named him Dranosh. It means Heart of Draenor in Orcish. I would not let the warlocks take him. My boy would be safe, hidden away by the elders of Garadar. I made a promise to his mother before she died, that I would cross the dark portal alone. Whether I lived or died, my son would be safe, untainted. Today, I fulfill that promise. pathetic, Orlok.
I aim to target something first.
Then release.
What would you ask of me?
You will have a proper ceremony in Nagrand, next to the pyres of your mother and ancestors. Honor young heroes, no matter how dire the battle. Never forsake it.
Ah, more of Vol'jin's revolutionaries. You've made it. Have you found Thrall? I am badly hurt. He insisted on going ahead alone. Tell me, how goes the battle up above? What of Nazgrim? Speak to me. Ah, Nazgrim, a great leader and a fine warrior. He valued his oath to the war chief more than his life. I tried to tell him that Hellscream betrayed us, cast aside a war chief's responsibility to his own people. But Nazgrim, too loyal, too proud. Damn Hellscream. His ambition tore our horde apart. Go on, find Thrall, finish this. I will live.